Good morning from Melbourne, Australia. Good evening to friends in North America, and hello to anyone watching on replay. My name is Nancy Hetker, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Melbourne, Australia. And today I was inspired by a card I saw by another demonstrator, and I'm going to do, well, I was inspired by something she did for an embellishment, and so I'm going to do the same type of thing as an embellishment, but I'm making it my own. So what she did was she cut out some of these butterflies from the Brilliant Wings dies, and happily they are carrying over into our new catalog. So I'm going to start by cutting some out of this shimmer gold vellum, and I know it was in our July to December mini catalog, and I can't remember. I think it's coming back this next holiday catalog, but I don't remember. So I have some in my stash, and I thought it'd be fun to use it for this project. Hello, Paula and Gladys. Thank you for joining me. If you are joining me, please do say hello. I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and this glimmer paper, and we're going to cut some butterflies. I'm just going to lay them on here however I can. See what you can see here. See, I don't think I'm going to do the very biggest one. But I'm going to do a couple passes here and see how we go getting them out. It's much easier to do this standing up. Sorry, it shakes the camera a bit here. And I can move this while I get them out, and I'll bring it back in. This may be helpful for getting them out. Let's see what we got here. Probably should have gone over it a couple times, but let's see how we do. Sometimes they surprise me. Oh yeah, that one came out nicely. Come here. Really want to rip the antennas. So this brush is great. They now sell the version of it that clicks into the end of the take your pick tool. Like I've said before, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I still have the one I bought when Stampin' Up! First came out with them. And they come with a cushion of foam, which is great to brush on. I'm going to leave that there. Let's see how this one does. And that just pushes through the little holes to get stuff out. And let's see this one. Yeah, this one, I'm going to go ahead and run this through the machine one more time off camera here. Yeah, that made a big difference, I think. And it's because the vellum is both tough and thin. And I think it really needs that second run through the machine. There we go. Oh, beautiful. I may see if I can do that with this one again. Sometimes if you don't get it positioned just right, you wind up regretting it because it kind of cuts it off. Let's see what we can do here. I can see I lost an antenna on one of my butterflies. Oh well. Hi Lorraine, how are you? I got your pretty Magenta Madness card. Thank you very much. Just haven't had a chance to post it. Glenn, I think, is doing better this morning. He got more sleep, and my chicken soup did well. Yep, that's better. And let's see about getting some more of these out. Now, again, we used to sell a standalone paper piercing or piercing tool. And now it's integrated as part of the Take Your Pick tool. I still really like this one, so I keep that for trying to work out these bits and bobs. Some of these aren't going to come out, and that's going to be fine too for what I'm doing. In fact, I'm not going to play with that one anymore. Let's see what I can get out easily on this one. So, what's more exciting, watching me take little bits of vellum out of die cuts or coloring? There we go. Okay, and now I'm just going to run a few more of these. Another of the big ones. Let's see what we can get on here. Oh my. Doesn't matter how much space you have. I'm going to show you real fast. When I've got all these little bits stuck on my plate, I like to take the edge of another plate and scrape them off into my bin. So I'm just going to do that off camera here. Makes noise, but it's pretty efficient. Especially with all those little thin vellum pieces. They wouldn't stick quite so much if I had a newer plate. All those little cut marks. I had a pretty good layout going. What did I do? We'll run this one multiple times. See if that makes it easier to get them out. Oh yeah, I can tell from the number that I've already just stuck to the plate. Okay, set that aside again. Bring this back in. Let's see how we go. I know my fingers work. There we go. See, they just really pop out when you do it multiple times. So that was my problem the first time. I got impatient. Didn't roll it through a couple times. Okay, so this is step one of making these butterflies. It's cutting out the shape. And now, when I get them all out, come here. There we go. Cool. Pieces out of the die and get them back on their magnetic sheet so I don't lose any of them. Okay, all of this can go away. Okay, so those are pretty, and I think you can see they're kind of shimmery. That one, see, remember I said it double cuts? Yeah, that one's no good. When I went and put it back, get rid of all of these. Okay, so now what I want to do, and I think it's going to be okay, and hopefully more than okay, on this shimmer vellum, gold shimmer vellum. So I'm going to add some of our gilded leafing. You can see a little bit of it in there. And I find this this container that it comes in, I think, is difficult to work from. So I've actually transferred mine into a larger container. It still goes everywhere because of static, as you can see. So I'm going to start here by adding some dabs of glue. I'm just going to put a little pool of it over here. And I'm just going to use my finger to kind of add some randomly. And I'm doing this on my silicone mat because the glue will wind up just washing off. I'm just going to let that get tacky. I'm going to move kind of quickly because I don't want it to dry too much. So this stuff the gold leafing you can use, like, if you stamp in Versamark, and then use our heat and stick powder, like embossing powder, and then rub on the leafing powder or flakes. That works really well, but you know, anything that'll make it stick. So I'm just using our multi-purpose glue. There we go. I'm gonna move that out of the way. I'm gonna clean my hands off of the stick. And then move that out of the way. I'm gonna bring in, you might remember my box that I use when I emboss. Well, I also use it for leafing. I had this big flake of leafing go AWOL, so. Because this stuff, like I said, it goes everywhere. So I'm going to bring in my butterflies over here. They're off to the side, and I'm just going to dip them in here. And set them aside for a minute. I did not practice ahead of time, so you're seeing me learn it live with you, what they do. You know, I've used this stuff before, but I haven't done this particular project. Okay, so now I've got this brush, it's got pretty stiff bristles, so I'm going to just start rubbing off excess. So that I wind up with, can you see that? Let me see what I can see in the camera. It's a butterfly with some gilded patches on it. Yeah, so set that aside, keep going. So for doing it in a batch, it doesn't actually take that long to do a bunch of them. May not be that exciting for you to watch, I don't know. But I suppose if you're watching on replay, you can always fast forward to see what I wind up doing with them. I don't think I want to do that. Doing the brush thing, it gets it into and out of all those fine little holes. And it's really sticking just where I have the glue at this point. So it shouldn't continue to make a big mess or anything. This one's going to be fun. Flip, 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 flip. Yeah, this is definitely one of those things where you do it one day and then you put it away for a while because you're like, I don't want to deal with that again. But it's a neat effect, whatever you use it on. You could do this on our regular sheer vellum, and you could do it keeping it just the white, or you could use like Stampin' Blends to stamp to color on one side or the other to give it a little bit of color, and then add gilding. That's what the one that I saw online did. She colored on the back side with Stampin' Blends and then added gilding on the front. I thought I would use some of this. I'm finding putting my finger back behind it helps. And it's just random where it is, and that's fine. Just a couple more left. So last week after I was on with you guys, I went with a friend and saw An American in Paris. It was fantastic production. If you're here in Melbourne, get a chance to see it this month. I think it's done by the end of the month. Before the end of the month even. Really well done. Really beautiful. And of course the music is fantastic. Okay, I think this is the last one. So you would think that you could just make a whole bunch of these and have them by hand to put on things. I find that if I don't have a specific project in mind, my extra bits just tend to hang around and occasionally get used, but most of the time, you know, 6 months down the road, I'm like, I don't know what I thought I was going to do with this. I'm pitching it. So I decided if I was doing this, I was going to go ahead and make multiple cards at once. Okay, so there's that one. That's the last one. I will come back later on and try to get some of these bits that are in the box back into this container, but for right now, I'm just going to set that aside. bring this page back in. So there are all of my flutterbys, gilded, and let me show you. See, the gilding stuck to my hands too, but that'll wash off. What I thought I would do, I've got some of this, the last of my multicolored flowers, expressions in ink cardstock, and I made some shaded spruce mats for them. And I will glue those on, and then the idea is to add a few of these onto each one. So let me get these cards made up, and then we'll start adding the butterflies. I keep seeing my hand and it's not coming off. So I don't have to worry about it. That's the other side, and we could do one on that too. That would probably be pretty cool, but I'm gonna go with the flowers. I thought about putting another white layer back there and embossing it, but I decided I wanted to keep it more simple. This paper has a lot going on with it. Yeah, I don't really know that they have a right side up, but sometimes you just feel like it looks better one direction or another. Just gonna hold a butterfly here so you can see how pretty that would be, but we're gonna keep it this way. I have more, I think, of a, we'll see what I've got in all my scraps. Ugh, that's not straight at all. Love my liquid glue. There we go. How should this one go? It should go that way, I think. So, what else is happening with you guys? Okay, let's start laying out some butterflies, see how we like them. I think something like that. And I was not going to put a sentiment on these. I was just going to let them be. trying to get my fingers to be a little less sticky. So these are easier to handle. Okay, I'm gonna bring in my glue dots. This is the easiest way to get these on. And some of them I'm gonna wind up folding or rolling to get into place. And I love using the flat end of that cap to push things down so I don't wind up hurting my fingertip by doing that repeatedly. So I'm gonna fold that one over, and then it'll go down there on that thorax quite easily. What should we do here? This one I'm kind of rolling up as I go. That's one. And these will flatten out to go into the envelope, but hopefully kind of pop up a little bit when somebody takes it out. Depends on how long it gets flattened, I suppose. I think those are pretty cool looking. Did I say sticky? A little bit. Go. Come here. Go, and now. And again, I'm just rolling this up a little bit here as I take it off. Add it down the length of that body. Okay. That is 3 cards. Come here. Done. Look at that. In 36 minutes. With a little prep time to cut these layers. So, what do you think? Good as is? I wouldn't add a sentiment, I don't think. Oh, I know what I was going to add though. I was thinking I might add some of these. Again, I have these gold glitter enamel dots that if they aren't retired, I think they are about to. But I thought these would be fun on there. Here. Oh my goodness. Yeah, just add a little bit more something. Come on. Come on. Okay. Now I think they're finished. There we go. So, come here. Thank you for joining me today. I will be back again, same time, same place next week. If you are in Australia and you would like to get your hands on our beautiful new annual catalog that starts in May, you can, excuse me, send me a note, Nancy@nancysniftynotes.com, or if you go to nancysniftynotes.com, on the right side there is a button that says request a catalog, and fill in the form that takes you to, and I will definitely send you a catalog. If you are eager to get your hands on the products that are, some of the products that are inside this catalog, you can join my team, and again, there's a link at my website, because demonstrators get 1 month early access to products in the new catalogs. So when we see you next week, I'll probably be able to show you some new stuff, because Australia Post says that my pre-order is arriving on Friday, so I may pop on and do an unboxing video, but then I'll probably play with something next week during my live. So thank you for joining me, and I will see you again. Bye-bye.